Before Napoleon became an emperor, he became obsessed with a woman who rarely wrote back. While cannons thundered across Europe, Napoleon was writing love letters. Not military orders, not battle plans, love letters, desperate ones. The kind that make even an emperor sound human. Napoleon Bonaparte. He was young then, brilliant, ambitious, already rising through the ranks of the French army. But when he met Josephine de Beauharnais, something shifted. She was older than him, elegant, charming, a widow with 2 children, and a presence that filled every room. Napoleon fell hard, harder than history usually admits. They married in 1796. And only days later, Napoleon left for the Italian campaign. Most newlyweds would have shared dinners, walks, quiet mornings. Instead, Napoleon rode toward war, and Josephine stayed behind in Paris. That distance became a wound, and Napoleon tried to close it with ink. From tents, from muddy roads, from battlefields still echoing with gunfire. He wrote to her constantly, sometimes twice a day, sometimes with the urgency of a man afraid of being forgotten. I wake filled with thoughts of you. Your portrait and the intoxicating memory of last night leave my senses in turmoil. 1,000 kisses, but give me none in return unless they come from your heart. These were not the polished words of an emperor. They were raw, possessive, sometimes almost painfully vulnerable. Picture him, Napoleon Bonaparte, age 27, pale complexion, dark brown hair brushed back, sharp eyes, wearing a dark blue French military uniform with gold trim, sitting alone by candlelight. A map spread across the table, boots still dusty from marching. Outside, soldiers sleep beside their weapons. Inside, he writes to Josephine as if she is the only safe place left in the world. And Josephine? Josephine de Beauharnais, early 30s, olive skin, dark curled hair pinned elegantly, expressive eyes, wearing flowing cream or pale blue silk gowns in the style of late 18th century France. She received the letters in Paris, but she did not always answer with the same intensity. That silence haunted him. Napoleon would wait for news from her more anxiously than news from the front. Victories came, cities surrendered. His reputation grew. But in his letters, he sounded less like a conqueror and more like a man begging to be loved back. Then came the rumors, whispers that Josephine was not faithful while he was away, whispers that reached Napoleon even among the chaos of war. For a man who could face enemy armies, betrayal was harder to survive. His letters changed. The tenderness remained, but now there was jealousy, hurt, fear. Still, he kept writing, again and again, as if every letter could pull her back toward him. Years later, Napoleon would become Emperor of France. Josephine would become Empress. Together, they would stand at the center of Europe. Power, luxury, crowns, ceremony, everything history remembers. But the most revealing part of their story was written before the crown, in private, in ink, in letters carried across battlefields. Eventually, they would separate. Politics demanded an heir. The marriage ended. Yet, Napoleon never seemed to fully let Josephine go. And when he was dying years later, exiled far from France, one of the names said to leave his lips was hers, Josephine. For all his victories, all his battles, all his empires, perhaps the greatest war Napoleon ever fought was the one between ambition and love. And maybe that is why those letters still feel alive today, because even the most powerful man in Europe once wrote like someone afraid of losing the person he loved. So what do you think? Were Napoleon's letters proof of true love? Or proof that love can make even a conqueror helpless?